Marcus Aurelius once said, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." This profound statement is not just a piece of wisdom from the past, but a living challenge for us today. Hello everyone, I'm Rumi, and in this video we're not just going on a journey of learning, but also of active participation and transformation. This isn't your typical passive watch. It's an interactive experience, and I invite you to actively participate by sharing your thoughts and perspectives on each topic we discuss. Today, we're diving into a crucial aspect of personal growth, explaining yourself to those who cause you pain. As we navigate this and other vital topics, I encourage you to stay with us to the end. This journey promises not just knowledge, but an opportunity for deep self-reflection and transformation. So, get ready to engage, reflect, and maybe even change the way you see yourself and the world around you. Let's begin this journey together. Topic 1. Explaining yourself to those who cause you pain. In our lives, we often face situations where someone close hurts us. It's a common experience, but how we handle it can make a big difference. Marcus Aurelius, a wise Stoic philosopher, taught us that our reactions to external events are more important than the events themselves. So, when someone you once trusted causes you pain, you might feel the urge to explain yourself, to make them understand your hurt. But here's something to consider. You don't always need to. There's a saying by Epictetus that goes, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." In situations of hurt, sometimes it's better to listen to your inner voice rather than engage in lengthy explanations with those who have wronged you. It's about choosing peace for yourself. This doesn't mean you're ignoring the problem or letting the other person win. It's about recognizing that your peace and mental well-being are more important than winning an argument or proving a point. As Rumi, the great poet, said, "Silence is the language of God. All else is poor translation." Sometimes silence is a powerful response. Letting go and moving on from hurt doesn't require grand gestures or dramatic showdowns. It's a quiet, internal process of accepting what happened and deciding not to let it control your emotions or your life. This act of moving on is, in itself, a form of self-respect. It's acknowledging that you deserve peace and choosing to prioritize your well-being over lingering in past hurts. In conclusion, when you're faced with the pain caused by others, remember that your response is your power. Choosing not to explain yourself doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're strong enough to choose your peace and well-being. As Seneca said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." Let your actions reflect your growth and your choice to live a life unburdened by unnecessary conflict. Topic 2. Discarding unnecessary goals. In our journey through life, we often set goals for ourselves, but as we grow and change, some goals might not fit who we are anymore. It's like wearing clothes that no longer suit us. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "It is not that we have so little time, but that we lose so much." This is a reminder to us that our time is precious, and we should spend it on goals that truly matter to us. Sometimes we hold on to goals because we think we should, not because they mean something to us. This is where another Stoic philosopher, Marcus Aurelius, offers wisdom. He said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." This means that happiness comes from choosing goals that align with our true selves, not from chasing what others expect of us. Letting go of a goal is not a sign of failure. It's a sign of strength and wisdom. It's realizing that you have grown and your needs have changed. As Rumi, the great poet, said, "Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I am changing myself." This is about focusing on what brings joy and value to your life. So, how do we let go of unnecessary goals? It starts with being honest with ourselves. Ask yourself, does this goal reflect who I am now or who I once thought I wanted to be? Does it bring me joy or does it feel like a burden? Remember, it's okay to change direction. Life is not a straight path, but a winding journey with many turns. In conclusion, carefully choosing and sometimes letting go of goals is a crucial part of living a fulfilling life. Focus on what truly matters to you and be willing to release what no longer serves you. In doing so, you make space for new dreams and aspirations that resonate with who you are now. As Epictetus said, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. By choosing your goals wisely, you shape your life's journey in a meaningful way. Topic 3. Keeping relationship endings private. When a friendship or romantic relationship ends, it's a sensitive time. You might feel a mix of emotions like sadness, anger, or confusion. It's natural to want to talk about it, but it's important to think about how you do this. Marcus Aurelius, a wise Stoic philosopher, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This means that your true power lies in how you handle situations, not in the situations themselves. Sharing private details about the end of a relationship can actually make things harder. It can turn personal feelings into public discussion, which often isn't helpful. It's better to deal with these emotions in a more private way. This gives you space to understand your feelings and start healing. Rumi, a great poet, said, "Listen to silence. It has so much to say." In the silence after a relationship ends, there's a lot you can learn about yourself. It's a time for reflection, not for sharing details with others. This is about respecting your own privacy and the privacy of the other person, even if the relationship didn't end well. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, taught that we should focus on what we can control and let go of what we can't. In the case of a relationship ending, we can't control the past or the other person, but we can control how we react and move forward. In conclusion, when a relationship ends, it's important to handle it with care and privacy. This respects both your feelings and the other person's. It's a chance to grow and learn about yourself. Remember, it's not about keeping secrets. It's about choosing wisdom and strength in how you handle life's challenging moments. Topic 4. Controlling anger in difficult situations. Anger is a common emotion we all feel, especially in stressful or frustrating situations. Maybe it's at work, in a meeting, or even at home during a disagreement. However, how we express this anger can make a big difference in our lives and relationships. Marcus Aurelius, a wise Stoic philosopher, advised, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." This means that instead of reacting with anger, we should strive to respond differently and better. When you feel angry, it's tempting to raise your voice and let your emotions take over. But there's great power in controlling your anger and choosing calm words instead. This doesn't mean you're ignoring your feelings. It means you're managing them in a way that's more helpful and respectful to yourself and others. Hafez, a Persian poet, wrote about the beauty of patience and kindness. He believed that responding with calmness rather than anger brings peace to our hearts and minds. When we speak softly, even in difficult times, we show strength and self-control. This can also help to calm the situation and lead to a better outcome. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, taught that we can't control what happens to us, but we can control how we react. This is very true when it comes to anger. By choosing not to shout or react harshly, we take control of the situation. We turn a potentially negative experience into a chance to demonstrate patience and understanding. In conclusion, the next time you find yourself in a situation that makes you angry, remember these wise words. Take a deep breath and choose to respond with calmness and kindness. It's a powerful way to handle challenges and shows true strength and wisdom. Topic 5. Avoiding negative talk about others. Speaking negatively about others is something many of us have experienced. It might happen in a moment of frustration or when we're with friends discussing someone not present. However, engaging in this kind of talk can have more impact than we realize. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher, said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This means, instead of talking about others, we should focus on being good ourselves. When we speak badly about someone, it not only affects the person we're talking about, but also how others see us. It can make us seem untrustworthy or unkind. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, believed in the power of our words and actions to reflect our character. He advised us to choose our words wisely, as they are a reflection of our inner self. Rumi the poet said, "Raise your words, not voice. It is rain that grows flowers, not thunder." This beautifully suggests that words of kindness and support are more powerful and helpful than words of criticism or anger. It's like choosing to water plants with gentle rain instead of destroying them with thunder. Gossiping or speaking negatively also impacts our own state of mind. It can bring negative energy into our lives and relationships. Epictetus taught that we should focus on what we can control, our actions and words, and let go of what we can't control, like others' actions or opinions. In conclusion, the next time you find yourself in a situation where negative talk about others arises, remember these wise words. Choose to be the person who speaks kindly or not at all. It's a simple yet powerful way to bring positivity into your life and the lives of others around you. Topic 6. Stopping the habit of comparing yourself to others. Comparing ourselves to others is a habit many of us fall into. We look at others' lives, achievements, and appearances, and we measure our own lives against them. However, this habit can lead to feelings of inadequacy and unhappiness. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher, reminds us, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. This means that our happiness comes from our own thoughts and attitudes, not from being like others. When we compare ourselves to others, we often focus on what we lack rather than what we have. This can make us feel that we are not good enough. But everyone's life is different, and each of us has our own unique path. As Rumi said, "You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop." This means that each of us is unique and complete in ourselves. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, taught that envy is the root of unhappiness. When we envy others, we ignore the good things in our own lives. Instead, we should focus on our own journey and be grateful for what we have. This doesn't mean we shouldn't have goals or strive to improve, but our goals should be based on our own values and desires, not on what others have or do. Epictetus advised, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." Instead of talking about how we wish our lives were like others, we should live our lives in a way that's true to ourselves. This means making choices that align with our own values and bring us joy, rather than trying to copy someone else's life. In conclusion, remember that the only person you should compare yourself to is who you were yesterday. Strive to be the best version of yourself, not a copy of someone else. Each of us has our own strengths, weaknesses, and paths in life, and that's what makes each of us special. Topic 7. Mindful use of social media. In today's world, social media is a significant part of our lives. It can be a tool for connection, learning, and inspiration. However, it can also lead to feelings of dissatisfaction and distraction if not used mindfully. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher, said, "Ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary?" This question is especially relevant when it comes to social media use. We should ask ourselves whether our time spent on social media is purposeful or simply a habit. One of the challenges with social media is the tendency to compare our lives with the carefully curated images and stories we see online. This can create a sense of inadequacy or a feeling that our lives are less exciting or meaningful. Remember what Rumi said, "Don't be satisfied with stories, how things have gone with others. Unfold your own myth." This encourages us to focus on our own journey and not get caught up in the lives of others. Seneca also offers wisdom that can be applied to social media use. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. Social media often pulls us away from the present moment, creating anxiety about what we're missing out on or what the future holds. Instead, we should use social media in a way that adds value to our lives without detracting from the present moment. To use social media mindfully, set specific times for checking social media and stick to those times. Use it for specific purposes, such as connecting with friends and family, gathering information, or finding inspiration. Then, step away and engage in activities that contribute to your real-world life. If you find that social media is affecting your mood or self-esteem, consider taking a break from it. This can be a time to engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment in the real world. In conclusion, social media can be a valuable tool, but it should be used with intention and mindfulness. Remember Epictetus's words, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." In the context of social media, this means observing and learning more than we post and compare. By being mindful of our social media use, we can enjoy its benefits while maintaining a healthy, balanced life. Topic 8. Overcoming the pursuit of external validation. Many of us spend our lives seeking approval and validation from others, whether it's through social media likes, compliments, or achieving what society deems successful. However, constantly seeking external validation can lead us away from our true selves. Marcus Aurelius advised, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." This highlights the paradox of valuing others' opinions over our own self-assessment. The pursuit of external validation can be like chasing a shadow. It's always moving and never fully satisfying. Rumi, a profound poet, said, "What you seek is seeking you." This suggests that instead of looking outward for validation, we should seek to understand and fulfill our own desires and aspirations. Our self-worth should come from within, not from others' perceptions. Seneca's teachings also resonate here. If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. In the context of seeking validation, this means if we don't have a clear sense of our own goals and values, no amount of external approval will bring us true satisfaction or happiness. It's important to set our own course based on our values and aspirations. To overcome the need for external validation, start by understanding and affirming your own values. What do you find important? What brings you genuine joy and satisfaction? Reflect on these questions and let your answers guide your actions. Practice self-compassion and celebrate your own achievements, even if they go unnoticed by others. Epictetus once said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. This is particularly relevant when dealing with the need for validation. We can't control others' opinions, but we can control how much importance we give them. In conclusion, the journey towards overcoming the need for external validation is about understanding and valuing yourself. It's a path towards authenticity, where your choices are guided by your true self, not by an external audience. Remember, the most important validation comes from within. Topic 9. Embracing imperfection and letting go of perfectionism. Perfectionism, the desire to be perfect in everything we do, can be a significant source of stress and dissatisfaction. We often set very high, sometimes unattainable, standards for ourselves, and when we fail to meet these standards, we feel inadequate. Marcus Aurelius offers wisdom that is pertinent here. Be content to seem what you really are. This means accepting ourselves as we are, with all our imperfections, rather than striving to present an image of perfection. Perfectionism can lead us to fear making mistakes, but mistakes are a natural part of learning and growing. Seneca said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future." This can be interpreted as living in the moment and appreciating our experiences, including our imperfections, rather than constantly worrying about achieving perfection in the future. Rumi, a Sufi poet, also touches on the theme of embracing our flaws. The wound is the place where the light enters you. This beautiful perspective suggests that our imperfections and mistakes are not just setbacks, but opportunities for growth and self-discovery. Epictetus advised, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." In terms of perfectionism, this means that instead of constantly talking about or striving for perfection, we should focus on living authentically and embracing our true selves, imperfections and all. In conclusion, letting go of perfectionism is about accepting and loving ourselves as we are. It's about understanding that our worth is not determined by our ability to achieve perfection, but by our willingness to embrace our human experience with all its ups and downs. This shift in perspective can lead to a more fulfilling and less stressful life, where we appreciate our journey and grow from our experiences. Topic 10. Letting go of unrealistic expectations. We often set high expectations for ourselves, our lives, and the people around us. While it's good to have goals, unrealistic expectations can lead to disappointment and dissatisfaction. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher, wisely said, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." This teaches us to embrace our present circumstances and relationships wholeheartedly, without imposing unrealistic standards on them. Unrealistic expectations can be like carrying a heavy burden. They can make us feel like we're constantly falling short or that our lives aren't good enough. Seneca advises us, "True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future." This means finding joy in our current life, rather than always looking for something better or expecting more than what is realistic. Rumi, a mystical poet, offers a perspective that aligns with this. Let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love. It will not lead you astray. This suggests that we should follow our genuine passions and desires, rather than being led by unrealistic expectations imposed by ourselves or others. Epictetus taught that we should focus on what is within our power and accept what is not. When it comes to expectations, this means understanding what we can realistically achieve and accepting that some things are beyond our control. In conclusion, letting go of unrealistic expectations involves embracing our life as it is, not as we think it should be. It's about appreciating our achievements, learning from our experiences, and finding joy in the present moment. By setting realistic goals and expectations, we can live a more fulfilling and less stressful life, one that is true to ourselves and our capabilities. Topic 11. Avoiding gossip and negative chatter. Engaging in gossip or negative talk about others is an easy trap to fall into. It can sometimes feel like a way to connect with others, but it often leads us down a path that is not beneficial for our personal growth or our relationships. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher, taught, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This suggests that instead of talking about others, we should focus on being the best version of ourselves. Gossip can harm not just the person being talked about, but also those who participate in it. It can erode trust and respect in relationships. Seneca said, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for a kindness." If we replace gossip with positive or constructive talk, we can create an environment that is more conducive to kindness and understanding. Rumi, a celebrated poet, shared a similar sentiment. "Raise your words, not voice. It is rain that grows flowers, not thunder." This beautifully implies that words of encouragement and positivity are more beneficial and impactful than words of negativity or criticism. Epictetus also emphasized the importance of focusing on what we can control, our actions and words, and letting go of what we can't, like the actions or opinions of others. This includes resisting the urge to engage in gossip, which is often about things outside our control and understanding. In conclusion, avoiding gossip is not just about abstaining from negative talk. It's about actively choosing to speak and think positively about others. It's a practice of empathy, understanding, and kindness. By steering clear of gossip, we cultivate a more positive environment for ourselves and those around us, aligning more closely with our values and the kind of person we aspire to be. As we come to the end of our journey today, remember that the path to inner peace and growth is not about grand gestures or dramatic changes, but about the quiet, thoughtful choices we make every day. Like the ripples in a pond, these small choices can spread far and wide, touching every aspect of our lives. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." So, nurture thoughts that are kind, wise, and true to yourself. As you move forward, I invite you to continue exploring the profound wisdom of Stoicism. On the screen are two playlists, Stoic Life Lessons and Stoic Habits. Each is filled with insights and practices to help you navigate life with serenity and strength, just as the Stoics intended. Dive into these playlists and let the timeless wisdom of Stoicism guide you in your everyday life. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. Remember, the most significant changes often start with a simple shift in perspective. May you find peace, strength, and joy on your path. Until next time, keep growing, keep exploring, and keep being the amazing person you are, and stay with the Creator.